Hey fellow pips, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. So today I'm looking at doing, it's not so much an unboxing, but rather an introduction into the XT-4 and what you get in the box, because you're going to be surprised. Now the first thing that you need to do is charge the battery up, and the only way to do this is by putting it in the camera, putting the USB-C into the camera, plugging it in, and off you go. And the other thing is, how do you know when your battery's charged? You've got to wait till that green light goes out. Now I was led to believe, for some unknown reason why, that you actually got a charger, a charging block I should say, with the camera, but you don't. You get a USB-C lead, and you get, you know, like your phone adapter that plugs into the wall, and then you can plug your USB lead into that plug. That's what you get. So I also purchased a second battery, thinking that while one's charging I can be out using the other one, but you can't, because it doesn't free your camera up. So just keep that in mind. I know that there's a battery charger coming out, a dual one, that's pretty hard to get at the moment in the UK. I don't know why, but it's around somewhere between, I've seen it as cheap as £49 to order online, right up to £60 or £69, but it's a bit strange for a battery charger when you can literally plug the lead in. All I wanted was another battery charger, so we can just have one going on the side and then one going in the camera. And if you wanted to charge them both at the same time, just put the lead in one and plug the other one in, job done. So that's the first thing you're going to do. Now the second thing you're going to have to do is a firmware update, because straight out the box there is a firmware update. And how do I know this? Because when you first turn your camera on, you're going to be hit with the first screen. Now there's no need for me to show you this, because it's going to be your region of language that you prefer. You're going to enter that, and then it's basically time and date. Then it's up to you how you proceed through the menu systems, but I'm going to show you the way I wanted to proceed through and what I've done next. So these are the things you get in the box. You get the box, you get a battery, you get a camera, you get a charging plug for your lead, which you also get USB-C, this, and this is a microphone jack, and what that does is plugs in to the USB-C in the side of the camera. But if you're charging your battery, you can't use this. It's a USB-C to a 3.5mm jack plug for the standard microphone. So at least you get that. That's they're pretty hard to come by, and the one that we use for the DJI Osmo Pocket was a crazy price. Eventually I'm going to try to see if this works. I doubt it will, because I'm sure there's something in that block that you get with the Osmo Pocket one that probably decodes the sound. So we'll see. So the first thing you're definitely going to need to do, if you've not done it already, is update your firmware. Now there is two methods to doing this, and that is, the first one is to download a file onto an SD card and upload that way. That's pretty simple. If you've never done that before, click on the link that's about to appear now, and that will show you how to do that via the card. But the way I'm going to do it today is by using the app. A lot of people are slating the Fuji camera app, but it, for me, is brilliant. I absolutely love it. So the first thing you need to do is obviously turn your camera on. So the easiest and the best way to do this is with the Fuji camera app. This, for me, is a simple way. It loads in, it finds your camera for you, and it will tell you there's a firmware update. The only thing it needs for you to do is to make sure that you have a full battery when you do the update. So it's asking me now that, do you want the latest firmware that's available to update? And yes, I would like that, please. and there it's telling me it knows I've got the XT3 and it also knows I've got the XT4, so of course I'm going to update that. There's the information that comes up on the screen, and I just click yes. I can either touch screen or I can use the menu to do the value, and there it goes. So it's also going to ask you to switch to your wireless LAN. So we're just going to do that. It's now receiving, as you can see, the firmware is transferring and it's doing its thing. It is literally that simple. The app tells you what you need to do. And that's what we want. That is exactly what we want. So I'm just timing this now and I'll be back with you just to let you know. As you can see the progress bar going along in green. But yeah, you're probably looking at about a minute. So now what the camera is actually doing is installing the update. Each block is a percentage of the installation. So that is the whole firmware update now complete. Now the fun starts. So we have two buttons on this side here, one for stills and one for video. We're going to concentrate on the stills side, I feel, first in this first section. So first things first, we're going to hit the menu button on the back of the camera. That's going to bring us our menus up, our image size, and all the other beautiful things we need to work out are in here. Now 3.2 is a standard aspect ratio, but you've got your 16:9, you've got your square 1:1, and you've got many other things, medium 3.2, medium 16:9, but we'll stick with the large 3.2, which for me is perfect. So we'll just back image quality. Now we've got fine, and the one I want is just the raw image. Now straight out the box yesterday I took a photograph of the moon. Here it is. Didn't do anything because I just needed to grab the camera, stuck the 100 to 400mm on with the teleconverter. If you've not seen the image in its full entirety, then go over to the Facebook page where you can see it there, or the Instagram page, whichever one you prefer. And it was just literally set as a default for JPEG. As you can see, I've selected to go with the larger icons on screen. So you can see just here, again, you've got that for the eye. If you put your eye up, the screen goes off, but I feel I probably will use this camera through the viewfinder and most of the time have the screen door closed, because we've got that option that we can do that, making it look altogether a bit more vintage, which for me is the whole idea why I like the FujiFilm system, because it just gives you that vintage feel to your photography. Everything about it is just so perfect. So if you really want to know how I set my camera up, just click on this link that's about to appear now, and that will take you to a film that explains how I set it up. So the one thing I do with all my cameras is I love to shoot back button focusing, and you have to change that in your settings. Now you'd think it'd be straight into the AFMF, the autofocus manual focusing menu on the XT4, XT3 or X series cameras, but it's not. It's under the ratchet or the spanner, and you need to then go to button dial settings, then shoot down on page 1 on the XT4. It is under AF. Now you need to have these turned off. Obviously as the default, as you can see, they're on. So once you've done that, what that is now actually done is shut off any clicking, any focusing on the red button. Okay, it just cannot do it. But what it will allow you to do is, once you've assigned a button, and you do that going back into your menu settings by holding down the back button to open up the menu function buttons, and you need to assign a button. Now I always use this one, always have done. It's the wheel to the right of the back of the camera, and you just push it in, and that's going to give you back button focusing. Absolutely love it. It's just something that I'm used to. A lot of people use on the XT3 the button to the right, which is now the quick menu button, or the button to the left, which is the AF on, but I use that for something totally different. As you can see there, what I use that for is if I need a focus check, I just push that in and it gives me the big zoom if I'm shooting in manual, or even if I'm shooting in autofocus and I just want to make sure I'm pin sharp. I just hit that button and it will go into my magnification. I'll just show you, that should be set. There you go. So all I do is press that, and now I'm also got back button focusing, which will give me the focusing I need, and then click, I'm away. So for me, it's so important to keep my cameras set up exactly the same. I've synchronized the date, I've synchronized the time, everything's synced. There's no way I'm going to take an image at exactly the same time, exactly the same second. Not possible. So that's how I like to shoot. That's just one of the things I like to do. Back button focus, get used to it, it's brilliant. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief video of the way I set up my XT4 and my first thoughts of what's in the box, the charger, the battery, and everything else that you need to know before you actually buy an XT4, just in case it's not going to suit your needs. With that said and done, there's one thing left to do, and that's stay in and shoot. You know you got to. Take care. Cheers.